We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and now, our World Broadcasting Tag Team Champions of the World and our Cruiserweight Champion.
I'm Ethan.
I'm James.
I'm Rob.
And this is episode 156 of Beyond the Ropes. We are BTR Pro Wrestling Talk. As always, you can find us on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. You can follow me individually at EthanMB95. You can follow James at
JHW Reporter.
And you can follow Rob at
Rob Flores Media. And don't forget the R2 TMs for Ethan.
Still chasing after that 24/7 champion. Reggie's got it in the bag. He's never going to lose that thing. All right. You can also find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Beyond the Ropes. And of course, YouTube, just search up Beyond the Ropes and you'll find over 150 episodes currently uploaded there. As you can see, I lost a hair versus hair match this past week. Joined the club with James there getting a little haircut. Rob's next, so we'll see when that happens there.
It's okay. You lost some hair. I lost some money. I've been spending the week in Nevada. I'm actually outside the Prim Valley Resort Casino.
A week early, sir. A week early.
Yeah.
You missed it.
Yeah, I know. See, what happened was, anyways, so I'm about 30 minutes out of Vegas. I did see Allegiant Stadium on my way in and on my way out. That will be the home for SummerSlam later on this week. And actually, I believe there's a boxing match with Pacquiao.
I think that same night at the MGM Grand.
Same night, yeah. I think Pacquiao just had a press conference. I saw something about it on Twitter. But with that being said, it is on Saturday, right? I remember that was the talk.
SummerSlam is happening on Saturday for the first time ever, I believe. So we'll talk more SummerSlam a little bit later. But yeah, that's an interesting thing. It's happening. So Sunday is a fight. So
yeah.
Let's talk about what happened over the weekend. There was a huge event in Mexico. I have not seen it. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. There's stuff out there. If I'm not mistaken, they aired it on Twitch as well. I know they've done it in the past. I'm talking about Triple A's Triple Mania 29 event. Basically, the talk of the town was the Triple A Mega Championship match between AEW champion Kenny Omega and current Mega champion taking on Andrade El Idolo. And Andrade came with some backup. I believe Conan joined Omega, and Andrade had his potential future father-in-law in attendance, the recently released Ric Flair.
Now, there's no way there's just no way that he decided to leave WWE for this occasion specifically. I hope that's not the case.
Oh no, we know what's gonna happen. We know where he's gonna show up. He's gonna show up elsewhere.
In AEW?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. He basically came out. He did some chops, some classic Flair chops to Omega, and then hit a figure four on Conan.
On Conan, imagine. Did you just imagine that? What? 20 years later, Ric Flair's putting Conan in another figure four? Couldn't believe it.
I really wished Flair made his debut in the retirement home, honestly.
Hey now. Flair is still living his best life. Trending on Twitter earlier today. Well, I saw the Nature Boy was trending, and I'm like, well.
Saw Ric Flair was trending. And I'm like, Space Mountain was trending too.
And you saw what?
Space Mountain was trending.
That's right. Yes, it was. And apparently someone was identified in a photo looking like Ric Flair on a train. I'll leave it at that. You go ahead and figure out the rest on your own. And we talked about it briefly before the show. I don't know if it was an exact quote, or someone, and yeah, Space Mountain. People were referring to Space Mountain, but someone said he doesn't ride trains, which sounds about right. But anyways,
Well,
if
I mean,
if there's one thing we learned this week is Rick can still go, and in one way or another.
definitely, you can say that. Speaking of someone who may potentially go, or still be able to go, we're talking about CM Punk. We mentioned it last week that he may appear on AEW Rampage. Got a little mixed up. I thought the first episode of Rampage was going to happen in Chicago. That's not the case. That happened last week, where we did see a new Impact World Champion. Christian ended up winning that championship in their first match there. Funny enough, Kenny Omega ended up retaining on Saturday, which is weird booking.
And I think what I saw, I don't know if this was from Raw Sap,
yeah,
or the dude Wrestling Inc. dude. Anyways, I'm horrible. Okay, what am I, a journalist or something?
no,
I'll have to give credit where it's due later. Sorry about that, but I think it was a matter of Impact AEW had control of the booking.
Tony Khan has control of Kenny's booking, basically.
He has control of Kenny's booking, and they felt like it wasn't the best idea to have him drop to Andrade, even though it is AAA's title, because he did lose the night before to Christian.
Which is weird, because if you're just going to have him lose on Friday, might as well have him lose on Saturday, right? Or have him win both. What do you mean? Have him win both or lose both. You don't
No. You don't have him lose both, because then you're burying your own. It's the carry and cross rule, pretty much.
Like, that rule is just. Oof.
But
we'll talk about carry and cross later on.
But I think it's just weird because it's AAA's title and it was AAA's event, and they didn't even have say in their own main event or whatever. But I mean, if it's Tony Khan's ruling, he can rule in favor of having the champion switch on his own show, but still have him look strong elsewhere. It kind of makes sense to me. I don't know.
I was listening to our good friend Jim Cornette. We're not friends, but we mention him all the time.
Yep.
He said, he basically said what I said, which I agree. You either have him lose both matches if he's going to lose the AEW Championship eventually at All Out, which is the next big event in September, or you have him win. Otherwise, you're just making him look. It looks weird. Just kind of having him lose one. He's supposed to be the belt collector. That's his gimmick. He has all the gold, and then now he doesn't. Yeah, it's a little odd. And to confirm, it was not the main event. It was not the main event.
Okay.
They did have another match, so a title change didn't need to happen.
I just think, to me, it makes sense. I mean, you don't want him to lose all the belts at once, but you know he's going to lose all the belts. The minute you start winning all the belts is the minute you know you're going to start losing all the belts, and they're not going to have him lose them all to one guy and then have it be some unification title thing or whatever, all those companies still want their belts back. So yeah, from that standpoint, I think this was the right move. I mean, what do you want him to lose both matches and then maybe turn around and lose at All Out or whatever this next one is?
Yeah, just have him go on a losing streak or something. But apparently they didn't want to go that route. What are your thoughts on Christian winning that Impact Championship?
I think it's good to have Christian. They had an exact day somewhere there. I think it was like 1,400 days. That might not even be right, or maybe it is right. I don't know. But Christian has been an Impact champion before, and it's nice that they're gonna kind of do something with him, at least on Impact for the meantime.
He is supposed to be challenging Omega for the AEW Championship at All Out as well. So he already beat Omega. So it's kind of weird. I'm like, he has to beat him again?
Well,
that's weird.
So yeah, that's weird, especially because it was on AEW programming already that he beat him. But I think now that does make things weird. If Christian is the TNA or the Impact champion, and then you have now, is this a unification match?
Impact's still a brand, so no.
Yeah, I know, but well, I guess I'm just saying, are both titles on the line again this
It's just
time?
the AEW championship right now. At All Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a weird situation. I don't know what they're doing over there, but CM Punk. Let's get back on CM Punk. It kind of started there, and then we kind of went backwards, but it's all right. CM Punk, is he showing up on Rampage?
Is he showing up on Rampage? You know what? I think maybe the stars aren't aligning the way they would have if the first show was in Chicago. It would almost be kind of lame if he showed up on the second show. You know what I mean? I guess. But you said he was teasing it on social media and stuff.
So on his Instagram, he put the dates or the numbers 05, 11, and 21. All those were the years that he signed a contract, or at least 05 and 11 were. 05 when he signed his WWE contract, and then 11 when he re-signed during that kind of Summer of Punk era. And then 2021 obviously was 2021, so he potentially signed a contract, or he's just trolling again. So I don't know. I do know on his Twitter, hasn't been allowing replies on any of his tweets for the last week or two.
He doesn't want to hear people's stuff.
No, he doesn't. And I believe he did mention the words "all elite" during his commentary, I believe, for one of the fights that happened over the weekend too. So he's obviously teasing pretty hard. Is this a troll? Is he showing up? Some people have thrown out SummerSlam. He's been trolling.
That's on Saturday too. So
I would prefer SummerSlam, honestly, because I think we've talked about it. I don't have any interest in him in AEW in terms of dream matches. I feel like there's just more stuff. There's history there in WWE, and I understand, obviously, with his past, it's probably not going to happen.
Probably not.
AEW seems like the obvious choice, but at the same time, you're seeing so many people get signed there over the last few months, and I'm sure more people are getting signed there in the next couple of months with those 90 days non-compete clause coming to an end. So,
but how silly would it look for them to bring CM Punk back, considering how many people they released?
They use that money to bring in the big name.
Yeah,
eventually they're gonna have to bring in people. Yes, they made a number of cuts, but they're gonna have to rebuild their development.
Well, they already did. They brought in a old girl. What's her name? What's the redhead name? Eva Marie.
Well, she's got pink hair. She is, I guess. I suppose. I don't know how much money she's making, but yes, I know. I mean, bigger names than Eva Marie over here.
All right, fair enough.
All right. So, last prediction: does he show up or no on Friday?
Does he show up in AEW on Friday? The answer is no.
I'm saying no.
Yeah,
I'm saying no, which
I think it's teasing it too much.
If anyone's gonna show up, it might be Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
I see that happening more than Punk, even though it's in Chicago. And at this point, if they don't bring out Punk, it's kind of a big letdown. But
they got to bring out somebody, even if it's Conan. They got to bring somebody out. It might just be Ric Flair. Somebody's gonna make a debut, I think.
Probably. They're probably looking for something there. They're probably gonna do numbers that day regardless, because obviously people are interested. I believe they got a 700 in their debut, which is pretty good, I would think, for a Friday night.
700,000?
Yeah, so not bad.
Do you know how, not the number, but do you know how SmackDown looked as far as quality of show? Maybe that's why they had Cena and Roman in the ring?
In terms of the show, it was fine. SmackDown's delivered pretty much every week for several
I think they hit 2 million this week, actually.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, they had a big face-to-face with Cena and Roman, which
Yeah.
we'll start getting into it right now, I guess, as we get into our SummerSlam predictions, because they do have all the matches, and as well for TakeOver, unless they add some matches, we'll do it on social media. You can always find us at Real BTR Radio there. But let's talk about it. They kind of had a face off on SmackDown to kick off the show. And Cena, I don't know. I felt like Cena was lagging with his promo stuff there, But before we continue, get your opinion, James. I have to acknowledge my tribal chief, Roman Reigns, because it's been a few minutes. And it's been a few minutes. I haven't acknowledged him. And I have to acknowledge him every hour, every, of the day. Hey, James, you okay? You falling asleep over there?
I'm just letting you have your moment.
Do you have any words for Roman Reigns, sir? Would you like to acknowledge your tribal chief, the head of the table? That didn't. Okay. All right.
Those are my thoughts.
Those are your thoughts. Okay. Well, that's going to be Cena at the end of SummerSlam. He's going to be knocked out in the middle of the ring, thanks to our tribal chief, Reigns. Did you watch the segment?
I watched parts of it. Okay. I'm aware of the name dropping that was done.
So even Cena was throwing out a CM Punk tease as well. Obviously, Cena was basically saying that Roman's been protected. They kind of been pushing him for a decade now, which hasn't been that long, but I guess if you start from developmental, technically yes. I talk about how he drove Dean Ambrose off, which, come on now, that's not Roman's fault. Everyone knows that's not Roman's fault. Dean wanted to go play deathmatch over there, so.
Yeah.
And then obviously said he almost ruined Seth Rollins, which is completely incorrect. Seth Rollins is phenomenal. He cut a fantastic promo on Edge. Probably promo of the night, honestly, for Rollins. It was fantastic promo.
And Rollins is not known for his promos, right?
It was solid work. I was really impressed.
I don't think any of the guys on the Shield were known for their promos.
I mean,
maybe Dean Ambrose.
Come on now, sir. Look at that. Roman Reigns just destroyed Cena on the mic. You saw this. Come on.
Whatever some other names that were. Well, you tell me.
He mentioned he was going to win the title and then go over the barricade and kiss him goodbye, which is basically what CM Punk did to Vince in 2011. So that was kind of the CM Punk reference there.
That's right. Yeah.
So when we return, we're going to talk more about this SummerSlam main event, as well as the rest of the card, as well as NXT TakeOver 36 happening on Sunday, the night after SummerSlam. All that and more right here on Beyond the Ropes. We are 22S Radio. 22S Radio is 22smedia.com and 88.1 FM KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 156 of Beyond the Ropes. I am your host, Ethan, joined alongside the analyst, James Williams, and producer, Rob Flores. Of course, we're doing this virtually via Zoom. Make sure you're staying safe. There is still a pandemic going on. Get vaccinated. Come on. James got his mask on or around his, hand. That's right. He's away from people. He's good. SummerSlam. Let's talk about it. We were talking about it, of course. We kind of mentioned the interaction between Roman Reigns and John Cena. Let's go through the rest of the card and circle back around when we give our predictions to the main event. All right. Let's talk about. So we're going to go through the matches that are announced. That could change over the next couple of days. And if they do, obviously, we'll give our predictions on Twitter at RealBTR Radio. You'll see them Sunday or Saturday morning before the show. Got to remember, the event's this Saturday. And TakeOver's on Sunday. TakeOver's on Sunday. First time TakeOver follows pay-per-view. So.
Thank you. Okay. Interesting.
Gonna be interesting for sure. Also announced earlier this week, they're actually going to do WWE 24. Both nights of WrestleMania. The first night is going to air right after SummerSlam. Second night is going to air after TakeOver. So that's going to be cool. They did one for each night.
Very nice.
The 24 specials are always great, so definitely worth checking those out. Let's get into the SummerSlam card. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal. Boy, has Drew fallen down so low in the last couple of months.
I mean, this storyline was something they wanted to have happen before.
But
Not mad at it.
Jinder's just fallen so low since his WWE title run. Like if
Oh, well, yeah.
if they built him up correctly, this match would have made sense. But they just never did.
It's true.
So
I agree.
I mean, it is what it is. Give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call.
All right. While we're waiting for Ethan and his phone call, while I was in Vegas, I did see some promotion for SummerSlam. Driving by close to the stadium, Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. Actually, that's probably why they didn't give us a tour, because they're probably already getting set up for SummerSlam. Now that I think about it, I guess the Raiders are playing at the Rams for preseason, so they're probably out of the picture. Where's the takeover taking place at?
Sorry, I got an important call. Some breaking news, unrelated to this show, so we're good. No, takeover is happening in the Capitol Wrestling Center. It's not. Unfortunately, it really should be in an arena. I mean, it should be. They need to get out of the Capitol Wrestling Center. I don't know. We need that big takeover feel. It's been so long. But yeah, let's talk about the Jinder Drew match. Drew's basically been getting one over on Jinder and his lackeys over the last month. He wins, right?
No, not if he's been getting the best of him the whole time.
You don't think so? You think Jinder's gonna pull this one out?
I mean, yeah. I think if Jinder's been the laughing stock in the storyline, I think he's gonna win. Because what's in it for Jinder? It's only just gonna make Jinder look that much weaker. And he has two guys with him who are bigger than the other guys he won the title with.
Veer and Shanky lost to Drew on Monday, banning them from this match.
Yikes.
So they can't even appear in this.
They both lost to Drew.
2-on-1 handicap match. There's no way Jinder's losing. I'm winning.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I'll go Jinder.
I'm going Drew here. Rob, who do you have here?
Jinder. Because he hasn't held gold.
2 Jinders. All right. I've got Drew here. How dare you guys bet against former 2-time WWE champion Drew McIntyre? All right. Moving on to the next match. The United States Championship will be defended as Sheamus defends against Damian Priest. Damian Priest is winning this one, I think.
I think so. When was the last? Does Damian Priest win the title?
He has not. He
has not. He didn't win the Intercontinental title or anything, right? Yeah.
No, his last title was, or his first and only, was the North American Championship in NXT. He's done great work since he's moved up to the main roster. Kind of a slow build, which is nice to see. An NXT superstar kind of get that. I can't say that about everyone, but Damian Priest is one of those guys. Obviously, he had a big ovation at WrestleMania when he teamed with Bad Bunny. And now he's kind of now in the U.S. title picture. So I think they're building him up. Sheamus has been doing great work over the last several months. He won that title at WrestleMania, defeating Riddle. So I think it's time for a title change. I think we're going to get a title change with Damian Priest here. We're picking up the victory.
But don't forget, Miz and Morrison could probably get involved still. Miz got scared out of his chair.
That's right.
Again.
That's true. He suffered defeat, I believe, this past Monday from Damian Priest. So, Rob, who do you have here?
Retain.
Sheamus. All right. James?
I have Priest.
I'm going with Damian Priest as well. All right. We got to make some notes about these as well. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. The Usos, Jimmy and Jay, main event, Jay Uso, I should say, taking on Rey and Dominic, the Mysterios. Who do we have here?
This is going to be on the pre-show again?
It might end up on the pre-show. There have not been any kickoff show matches announced, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of these matches gets pushed down that card.
I'll go with the Usos.
The Usos? How are you going to bet against the Bloodline? Honestly, if Roman's going to retain, the Usos got this as well.
And didn't they get a new member? Or no?
They have not. Is there something I'm missing here?
I saw something on Snapchat saying that Roman reacts to Naomi joining the Bloodline or something along those lines. She did make a return not too long ago, right?
Well, she's been on Raw. She has not showed up on SmackDown. I believe she might have been
Okay.
silently traded to SmackDown.
Let me take a look here.
But I believe that they may have asked him a question about that. I don't think
It might have been a question. Yeah,
an
it might
interview
have been a
question.
question.
So I mean, yeah, look that up. We'll get predictions here in a second. Rob, who do you have here?
The Usos, and it'll be sad if they're still on the pre-show if they've been calling themselves main event.
Well, they're going to be the main event of the kickoff show. So, if anything, there's that. So, all right. So, James, you did have gender, right? Just to confirm.
Gender, yes.
Gender, priest, and then you got
Priest.
the Usos.
And the Usos, yeah.
All right. I too have the Usos. I think clean sweep here. I think we've all decided the Usos should retain here. We'll see if that happens. All right. Next match on the card is a match that was added this past Monday. It's not even on the schedule here. Alexa Bliss versus everyone's favorite wrestler, Eva Marie. Honestly, that belonged in the kickoff show, but what? I don't know. This has been weird. They really just need to stop Alexa. Just keep her away from the Fiend gimmick at this point. Just drop it. I don't know. I'm not into it anymore. Who do you have, James?
I want to say I'll take Alexa Bliss, but maybe we'll see. What is her name again? Deetra? Lily, is that her name?
No, Doudrop.
Doudrop, yeah, okay.
Doudrop's been hypnotized by Lily.
So, Lily's the doll, right?
Lily's a doll, yeah. She's been hypnotized by Lily.
Yeah. Well, because I think maybe she'll turn on Alexa, or maybe it's like a swerve where they think she's going to go in favor of Alexa, but she doesn't. So I'm going to go with, I guess that's something I'm keeping my eye on, but I think I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss.
Okay. Rob, who do you have here?
Bliss.
Next time you pick first.
All right, I'll go first next time. I'm just trying to get everyone's predictions on.
Yeah.
All right. Tell you what, next time, for the next one, I will pick first.
You will.
Who do I have here? This is a tough one, honestly, because I can see them wanting to get so much heat on Eva Marie.
Yep. That's true. Didn't you just pick? I thought you picked.
No, I'll go with Bliss.
Mm.
We'll see. Next match. The Rated R Superstar WWE Hall of Famer Edge versus the Drip God himself, Seth freaking Rollins. Here, I'll go first. Don't worry, guys. I will handle this one.
Go first.
It's going to be Rollins. Why would you bet against him? Come on now.
Edge needs to get a win. He's kind of due for a win. He hasn't won since last WrestleMania, not this most recent one.
He won at the Rumble. He won the Rumble match.
Oh yeah,
he won the Rumble. And then what's his name had to get involved in that triple threat, ruined the whole thing. But anyways, talking about Daniel Bryan, of course.
Yeah.
Who do you have here, James? You got Edge?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Edge in this one. He's gonna knock the drip right out of him.
Oh, sir, how dare you?
Yep.
Have you seen his suits? Come on now, it's fantastic.
He wore a cow pattern once.
I believe he did, and he looked great in it. No one can. Not everyone can pull that off, James.
No, not everyone, including Seth Rollins. So, yeah.
Whatever. Rob, who do you have here?
Rollins.
Well, at least there's someone with some sense here, other than me. Come on now. All right. Next up for the Raw Women's Championship in a triple threat match, we got Nikki ASH defending against Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Tell you what, I'll go again first. I'll go first again, and I'm going with Nikki. I got Nikki here. She's got it pinned by both competitors. over the last 2 weeks. So I think she needs this victory.
I'm gonna go with Charlotte because it is SummerSlam, and if they wanted to have her, isn't she close to breaking a record, or did she ready to break it?
She's going after number 12.
I think there's a possibility that she gets number 12 at SummerSlam.
Rob?
Nikki.
Rob's got Nikki. There we go. Not a little surprise there. Didn't think.
Well, no one's going on Rhea, huh?
No one's going on Rhea here. All right. Next match we have for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defends against the returning Sasha Banks. Rob, you can go first here.
Sasha, of course.
Of course.
Sasha, of course.
Of course you would pick Sasha. By the way, I don't believe she was filming anything on her time off. I think she was just being lazy.
Wow. What made you say that? What's the tea, sis?
Well, no. I mean, apparently they haven't started filming The Mandalorian season 3, so what else would she be doing, honestly? So, I don't know. James, who do you have here?
I'm gonna go with Bianca Belair. You want her to continue having a strong run, and this is the next Big Four pay-per-view up for her. I think a win at SummerSlam only strengthens her reign, and I think she gets the job done over Sasha again.
Question is, after this, what happens? Do we get another match between them, or do we get another opponent? The question is, who would be the viable challenger to either one, regardless of who wins here? You got to think of faces. Are there any faces to face Sasha Banks, who's a heel now? I don't know. Bianca, she's already beaten Zelina Vega. She's beating Carmella. Bayley's out of the picture. She's beating her. She beats Sasha again. There's really no one else she can face. So it's kind of up in the air. I mean, you've got Toni Storm, who made her debut and then disappeared, hasn't shown up since. But she's a face. You've got Shotzi and Nox, who are also kind of fallen off after beating the tag team champions. That's not on their fault, I would assume. Natalia's injury is kind of delaying that a bit. But who else do they have? Do we see maybe trades? Naomi? Is that when she comes in, potentially? I'm going to go with Belair on this one. But it's a question of, what's next for either one of these competitors.
I mean, if Banks wins, then they'll just do a rubber match.
They'll do that rubber match, yeah.
You think a rubber match happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm still going with Belair here.
Yeah, me too.
Next match, we have the WWE Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. First off, I gotta say,
I forgot about this match, to be honest.
Put the strap on Gage Goldberg. Goldberg's son already. Look at him. Did you see him on Raw?
I'm gone. I'm out.
Look at James has officially left his vehicle. I don't know what's happening. He's
I'm
lost.
off the show. Cancel the damn show.
Put the title on Gage.
Why?
He looks like a star already. You see, the entire football team, his football team there, watching Goldberg Spear lay out the so-called almighty Bobby Lashley. He didn't look almighty getting speared.
See what they do? They're just making a mockery out of Bobby Lashley.
They didn't even have to try. He does it on
I
his
bet you he's the head coach. He's the head coach of the football team, huh?
He must be or something because he had the
You know
whole
what? And he's using all that WWE money to fly him out. Who else flies the whole football team out?
I think they live in San Antonio. Actually, that's where they were at. He said they moved them to Texas like a year ago. So yeah, they're in Texas because they want to live in Texas. I don't know. Go ask Goldberg. Go ask Bill. Tweet at him. James is done. James is over it. I'm gonna say Gage Goldberg helps his father win that championship. Goldberg's winning in this. I'm all in on Goldberg.
There's no way.
I don't care if he buries Lashley. I don't care anymore.
So then, what do they do with
Big E? Cashes in, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he cashes in on Goldberg. He gets that Goldberg match he wants. I don't know. That would be a moment.
Would be a moment.
Regardless, I think Big E might end up cashing in at SummerSlam if he gets his briefcase back. We'll talk about the bum that stole Big E's briefcase over the weekend. We'll see if maybe Friday he gets a bag or something. But
Times are hard.
apparently,
you know what? Hey, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was in Vegas, and there was a few times I walked out the casino kind of feeling like Baron Corbin a little bit. You know, just down
I feel like that every day. Honestly, I do wash my shirts though. I do get a shower in and not starving, but sometimes I feel like a bum.
I can respect
sometimes
it.
I feel like a Baron Corbin. But we're running low on time. Do we have any quick predictions here for the WWE Championship match?
Bobby Lashley.
Rob?
It's definitely going to be Lashley, but if for some reason he loses, we got to at least see MVP put him out.
Lord.
Wait, see MVP do what?
Put him out.
If he mistreats MVP at the end out of being grumpy, MVP puts him out himself.
That's talking about burying Lashley. Look, it's one thing to lose to Goldberg, but now you're gonna have a one-legged MVP take him out.
Because that's when Biggie will come out.
I mean, I guess if he retains the title, then I could see that happening where Biggie comes out, but I don't see MVP getting involved. But anyways, when we return, we'll finish talking about SummerSlam as well as a championship change that occurred last Friday on SmackDown, right here on BTR. We are 22us Radio. 22us Radio is 22usmedia.com and 80.1 FM, KKJZ HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. Welcome back to episode 156 of Beyond the Ropes. I am your host, Ethan. You can follow me on Twitter at EthanME95. You can follow our analyst, James Williams, at
JHW Reporter,
and producer Rob Flores at
Rob Flores Media. And don't forget the R-Truth DMs for Ethan.
R-Truth failed to capture the 24/7 championship again at the park as usual as Reggie. We're learning more about Reggie each week, which is interesting. He's got more of a backstory than most WWE superstars. So, I mean,
what have we learned about Ray? What is the story? What have we learned?
He grew up in a rough neighborhood, apparently.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Don't all African Americans apparently.
No, Biggie grew up in Tampa. He's fine.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's fair.
But yeah, he lost the accent. Reggie he lost his name. He's not Reggie. He's not Reginald. Huh?
What is he?
He's Reggie. He's not Reginald anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He got the new theme music. He's obviously a baby.
What was his old theme music? I don't even remember him.
It was like a fancy, smashy type music. Now he's got more Cirque du Soleil.
Is he still wrestling in a suit?
Yeah. He's got Cirque du Soleil act going on. But anyways, he outmaneuvered Truth.
I guess it makes sense because he's probably not wrestling in the suit. He's just getting attacked in the suit.
Yeah, he's kind of just running away basically for the most part. Speaking of championship matches, we had a championship match between the Nigerian prince or Nigerian king, Nigerian royalty. He didn't have a rough upbringing, James.
Apparently not.
Paul Cruz.
Apparently not.
I don't know if he's actually from Nigeria or not, but we'll
I
go.
Think he is. I think that's the game.
He might be.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I guess.
He defended against our king, our one true king, the king of strong style, Shinsuke Nakamura. And the king picked up that W. He picked up that Intercontinental Championship.
That's right.
Huge celebration. I was elated. I'm glad they're doing something with Shinsuke again. Really wish he would get a world title run at some point, but at this point, I don't know anymore.
To be honest, he's almost in the Samoa Joe. I guess he's doing a little bit better than Samoa Joe because Samoa Joe was never even Intercontinental Champion, right?
He was a U.S. champion, but that's
was he?
it. Yeah, that was about it.
Okay.
I believe he squashed Mysterio at WrestleMania for that U.S. title. So, a couple of years back. So, I mean, good for Shinsuke. I'm glad he's doing something. They had a huge celebration after with Pat McAfee kind of dancing on the table, and they were all celebrating. So that was great to see. A nice SmackDown moment there. Let's get back. Let's finish up SummerSlam. I haven't finished it up yet. Let's talk about the main event between the Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, the best of the best. I'm talking about the end-all, be-all, Roman Reigns, defending against John Cena. Who do we have here, James? James is unsure.
I want to say
taking too long to answer, sir.
Want to say Cena, but I think it's gonna be Roman. The reason why I think it could be Cena is because this is SummerSlam, a big stage, one of the first pay-per-views back. Having Cena win it, setting or breaking that record, I think it would be big. If you don't do it now, when are you gonna do it?
Never.
But with that being said, I think it's gonna go to Roman.
Yeah. Roman Reigns here. Locking you in for Reigns. Took you a little long to answer that, sir. Very disappointed.
I didn't want to give you the satisfaction of a fast answer, therefore leading you on to think that I was acknowledging anybody in particular.
Rob, what are you doing over there laughing? What do you got here?
I can imagine Roman winning, but at the end, like Cena's all groveled on the ground, and Paul leaves going. Doo, 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 doo.
Oh my goodness! So do you have Reigns winning here?
Yeah.
Okay, you have Reigns. I don't know, guys. This is a tough one. I can't decide, but you know what? I'm gonna put all my money on the one true head of people, Roman Reigns.
He said, I can't decide, but I'm putting all my money.
It's tough choice. Tough choice.
I can't with you.
NXT TakeOver 36. This may be the last takeover I'm going to be able to enjoy, gentlemen. I'm scared. This might be Adam Cole's last takeover. I'm terrified.
You know what? I will guarantee you that it won't. If you don't mind me starting it off, it sounds like we have a wedding on our hands coming up here pretty soon.
On NXT?
Yeah. Are you not aware?
Nothing to do with Adam Cole, sir.
You said, "Oh, this is the last NXT you would enjoy." Well, you might enjoy the wedding.
Oh, I mean, in terms of the actual show, I might enjoy some of the shows, but I'm talking about Adam Cole being there.
That's right. Yeah, Adam Cole is gone. He's out of here.
Oh God! If I'm not here next week, if I find out he's gone, I might not be here for next week's episode. I'm letting you guys know right now.
Here's my here. I'll make you feel better, right? He's gonna go. And he's gonna win.
Think he's gonna win, huh?
He's gonna resign, and he's gonna show up on the main roster, and he's gonna win the Intercontinental Championship as a heel at some point from Shinsuke.
Ooh,
and fulfill my prediction from earlier in the year when I said Adam Cole will finish the year as Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping your prediction is correct, sir. Because it's not going to get any better than that at this point in time.
Yep.
I too have Adam Cole winning. Of course, we're talking about the match between Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole Bebe in a best 2 out of 3 falls match. The first fall being a singles match, second fall being a street fight. And if it goes to a third fall, it'll be a cage match. And it's true, Rob, as you making a comment here, my background is pretending I am missing hair here in my background if you're watching.
It's still acknowledging your hair?
Still acknowledging my hair, apparently. So hopefully we'll fix that soon. Rob, who do you have here? Oh, by the way, I've got Adam Cole winning.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. Rob, who do you have here?
Same.
Adam Cole. I hope he sticks around. Next up, we've got for the $1 million championship, this bum. Speaking of bums, we've got Cameron Grimes here. Say it with me, James. L.A. Knight. He's gone MIA. There he is. Say it with me, James. L.A. Knight. Come on. L.A. Knight. L.A. Knight.
Nope. I did see the cheap shot that LA Knight delivered to young Cameron Grimes and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
There's nothing young about Ted DiBiase, sir.
I didn't say young Ted DiBiase. I said young Cameron Grimes.
I know what you said.
And the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Say it with me, Ethan.
He's probably worth $750.
Ted
No, I don't think he's worth $1 million anymore.
DiBiase.
I don't think he's worth $1 million anymore. I think he's lost some of that money. I think that's why he's showing up on Tuesday nights now. I've got LA Knight, the $1 million megastar here. I think it's an obvious choice. No. Like, why are you going to bet against the best thing on Tuesday nights that isn't named Adam Cole? You know,
because Cameron Grimes is going to win.
I mean, this is his third try, so if he doesn't win,
Cameron Grimes is going in with momentum, though. He's coming out for a win.
Possibly. Rob, who do you have here? And it's not Bobby Roode. He's stuck in tag division with Dolph.
In a good scenario, LA Knight wins because he hired his new employee, Baron Corbin.
Well, that would be interesting. But that's too good of an idea. That's not going to happen. They would never do that. Especially if you got Vince running the show and Pritchard and Laurinaitis, whatever. All right. Next up, we have for the NXT Women's Championship, Raquel Gonzalez defends against Dakota Kai. I've got Dakota Kai winning here. I'm gonna take that chance on her. I'm gonna take that chance on her because I don't know who's gonna defeat Raquel Gonzalez right now.
Yeah. So then, why do you think it's gonna be Dakota Kai?
Well, I mean, other than if she retains, I don't know who else.
I think she needs to retain because she hasn't had enough singles matches for me to have a good, solid championship run.
Really, she's defeated Io Shirai, Rhea Ripley. Well, that was before her title run was Rhea Ripley, but.
As soon as she won the title, she got put right into tag teams.
I guess you could look at it like that. So you got Gonzalez then.
That's how I'm looking at
it. Rob, who do you have here?
Who are the people again?
Dakota Kai versus Raquel Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
See how quick and decisive he was? He knew.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Next up, we've got the NXT UK Championship. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov. Ilya has to win this one. Walter's had that title hostage for 2.5 years. They were waiting to do this in front of a crowd. There's no way this isn't a title change. I've got Ilya.
Left him a bloody mess on the last
That's right.
NXT. Well, he didn't leave him a bloody mess. He was in a match with who was it again?
He was in a match against
with one of the Imperium guys, right?
Ravishing
he was in there with Roddy. That's right.
That's right.
I
have not seen this week's NXT, so I do have to go back and watch it. But I heard it was a fantastic main event.
It was a good match.
What do you have here, sir?
I think you're right. I think maybe they were waiting for the crowd. You know, you got Walter out of the UK now. I think he dropped the title finally. You know, yeah.
Rob, who do you have here?
Yeah, this should be dropped in a very controversial way.
Controversial way?
Yeah, do a Montreal.
1, 2, 3, Rob. Who do you think there's a title change?
Yeah.
Okay, Ilya here. We're all going Ilya. Although with the so-called changes happening to NXT, I don't know what to expect. So I don't know. They might want to keep that title on Walter a little longer. I don't know how old he is, but
that's
he's
right.
in the mid-30s, so we'll see. All right. So then we get into what may be our main event. I don't know what's going to be our main event. I think it might be O'Reilly, Adam Cole, but I don't know. It's gonna be like 3 of these matches could main event really. It's gonna be Karrion Kross defending the NXT Championship against Samoa Joe. 2 weeks ago, I said Samoa Joe right off the bat, but now I'm not too sure. So I got to think about this one. Karrion Kross did squash Jeff Hardy this week. So I don't know what they're doing with Kross, if he's back on track or what. Scarlett is still MIA. I don't know what's going on.
She hasn't even been on NXT.
Not that I've seen her. I haven't seen this week's episode, but I didn't see any images of her. She's kind of been MIA, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they just want to keep her off TV completely until they decide on Raw to bring her up or what. So
I guess we wait and see. But I will go with I think you go with Samoa Joe here. I think Samoa Joe has to win the title. I think you get Karrion Kross up and out of NXT so you can continue to job the guys up on the main roster.
Sir, picked up some victories there. All right, Rob, who do you have here?
Yeah, it definitely has to be Joe. It's a bad sign when you hold the NXT gold and you're on the main roster on television. You're bound to drop your belt.
I mean, yeah, it happens. I guess I'll go with Joe. I guess I'm not super confident about it, but I don't know. We're gonna see. Yeah, I think I made 3 title changes, and that might be too many. But I'll stick with Joe. All right, so that's gonna be this weekend happening. Of course, SummerSlam is happening this Saturday, I believe, 5 p.m. Eastern time or 5 p.m. Pacific
That's
time.
about right, yeah.
8 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure they'll do a kickoff show. Now Natalia is still lagging it with her injury, Rob. She is injured. She's no tag titles. Typical Hart milking that leg injury, just like Bret Hart did back in the day. So
I do have something I want to address. Just want to give a shout out to Keith Lee and Mia Yim. Keith Lee did talk in some detail in a video and posted regarding his health status and where he's been during the beginning of the year. He did confirm that he did have COVID, which I think was kind of out there. I believe there was some other stuff to it. It was kind of a scary situation for him. I think they found something either with his heart or something that was kind of. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I believe it was a situation where he had COVID. He was out for a couple of weeks, came back for 1 match, and then I believe, as you mentioned, they found an issue with his heart. I forgot what it was, what he said. He did make a YouTube video about it. And basically, he's been out of action. They weren't allowing him to even do any exercise or anything until they figured it out.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they did figure it out. And as you mentioned, Mia Yim has been taking care of him. I know she got a lot of flack, especially for the COVID thing. It was not her fault that he got COVID, apparently. I think people were blaming her. And she actually did risk. She gave up her Royal Rumble spot to take care of him. So, good.
And
good
she
for
ended
her.
up getting COVID herself.
Yeah,
During the middle of her whole run with the
with Retribution, she took care of him.
That's right.
So good for her, good for them. I'm glad he's doing well now. He was not on TV this week. I don't know what the plan is moving forward with Keith Lee, but hopefully, he's a great competitor. Hopefully they figure out something to do with him. And it's Mia Yim as well. She's been out of action for months now. Maybe we'll see something with her. Maybe she becomes a challenger SmackDown as well. I think she was moved to SmackDown, so I don't know what the plan is there, but hopefully we'll see something with both of them. I do want to also, you reminded me, I do want to retract a statement I've made a couple of times on the show. Bray Wyatt missing MIA for a few months. There was a report going around that it was due to mental issues or whatever. Not the case. Apparently that was not the case. I don't know the exact reason, but I know I've mentioned it a few times that it may have been mental issues. Not the case, obviously. So misinformation there. Sorry about that. He's obviously now released. So
And I think he did tweet something saying, or no, speaking of the Wyatt family, I believe it was Braun Strowman or whatever his real name, whatever he's going by now. But I believe he tweeted out something saying 14 days.
He's almost up out of the 90-day, complete.
Yeah.
So
we'll see what happens with him.
We'll see what happens with him. We didn't mention a few. Bobby Eaton passed away. It's been over, a week and a half now. R.I.P. to him. Obviously, a member of the Midnight Express. Jim Cornette, if you want to go listen to stories about him, Jim Cornette Experience. Yeah, he did a full episode talking about his friend. Obviously, I've heard part of it, and it's really good stuff. So, but this weekend, big, huge wrestling weekend. The wrestling landscape could change forever, and that is, a factual statement there. So we'll see what happens on AEW, what happens at SummerSlam, and so on. But until next time, this episode of Beyond the Ropes has been absolutely too sweet.